Welcome to the Small Business Collaboration Summit, Benson Sian. Now, you are in the Philippines, and 16 years ago, you founded your company, Natural Quality Corporation, NQC, which produces Philippine-made natural health products and food supplements. Now, your products are currently sold in all the leading drugstores in the Philippines, and you've expanded into e-commerce and exporting, which has taken your products as far as the United States, Japan, Denmark, and Sudan. E-commerce marketplaces like Lazada and Amazon are also showing promise as an additional way for you to boost your overseas sales and your local sales. Now, how did you first get into this business, and how have you used collaboration to grow locally and expand globally?
Okay, Miriam, thank you. 16 years ago, we realized that there are a lot of Philippine plants that can be incorporated into food supplements and health products, but not a lot of people were doing it. And those that were doing it in a backyard manner, which is, does not inspire confidence for consumers. So there was that realization, and yet I was afraid to embark on it unless I could be assured myself that I would be confident enough to use and buy that product. Via collaboration, I was able to find a supplier for agricultural products that were processed or semi-processed and being shipped to Japan. Everyone knows that Japan has very, very stringent rules for food and agricultural products. At that time, they were selling food ingredients for, food items, but nothing related to herbal products. It took that collaboration and a lot of convincing to help them see that vision. And I met with the founder of that company 2 years ago, and we were just reminiscing how we started. And they told me that had I not been persistent, they would not have embarked on the herbal side of the business, which now accounts for a little over half of their volume.
Wow.
So that's how collaboration has helped me start and help them expand.
Is that the collaboration that you feel you're most proud of, or is there another collaboration that when you look back, you think, wow, that really made a huge impact to your business?
Oh, there were so many, Miriam. Too many to mention. Collaboration with a retired German doctor, pharmacologist, living in the Philippines, in love with the Philippines, writing so many books about Philippine plants. His name is Dr. Dietmar. And, I had to convince him to see the vision that I had. And he actually helped me formulate my first product, which is our bestseller, Ampalaya Plus, which is good for blood sugar conditions and diabetes. So there's too many. Even our collaboration with Amazon, Lazada, and other market platforms are all through trust and collaboration and through track record.
Now, trust, you brought it up. It's obviously critical to ensuring strong collaborations and obviously giving people the confidence to listen to your vision, because obviously when you have track record, you can be more persistent and you can be more persuasive and actually be able to get closer to your vision. What's been the most effective way that you have established trust in your collaborations?
In this day and age where all records and data are available, it's even the track record prior to having a track record. Your record as a person, how you deal with other people, how you deal with businesses, the reputational value you have behind your name. Okay, all those matter because before you have a record, you have that record of performance in other fields. Yeah. Yes, trust is so important. Transparency is very important. A sense of collaboration and community. That this is not merely limited to this transaction, but even beyond that.
Now, you mentioned persistence, but I think it's more than persistence. I think it's courage. Now, fear stops a lot of business people. It stops humans from doing all sorts of things, but it stops business people from really going after opportunities that push them to further than they could have ever imagined. I'd love you to talk about really what role courage has played in your business growth.
I like the title of a narrative, and I call that narrative Defying the Odds. Having the courage to see your vision through, having the courage to put in the hard work. I always tell my niece and nephew, there are no shortcuts. You need to be willing to put in the hard work to see your dream through. There's no other way.
Now, in a multi-business collaboration, when you've got more than one partner, obviously dealing one-to-one is a little easier than when you have many businesses coming together to do something. How have you been involved with any multi-business collaborations, and how have you managed that coordination within that?
I'm an MSME, and I often tell in public forum that, for an MSME, we are expected to comply with the same rules, regulation, and compliances that big companies are expected to do. But we have much less resources. And therefore, a lot of times it's a one-man band. The demands on our time is very high, but we need to manage our time well and realize what things are important and what things need to get done, and do it at the right time. There's no other way. Yes, it's difficult. I always tell myself, I thought after 16 years, it would be easier. But it's easier, but it's also more difficult, because now we're looking into expanding. We're looking now into going to all the markets where Amazon is. And that entails a lot of collaboration, a lot of product registration, compliance issues that needs to be upgraded and maintained all the time.
Have you ever had a collaboration that has failed or hasn't gone the way you wanted it to go? And what did you learn from that?
Fortunately, there are very few and far between. I do a lot of due diligence before I embark on any collaboration. Because, as I said, time is precious. Opportunity can be lost if you don't use your time properly. So I don't just collaborate just for the sake of it. I do a lot of due diligence before I go into it. So I don't remember any big failures that I can share. Yeah.
Now, I remember when we last met, you told a wonderful story of your friend with the banana plantation who you were able to collaborate with to grow your herbs below in the extra spaces. And we have a lot of farmers who are members of BISI and would have an interest in, being able to collaborate with other farmers to maybe consolidate, to find efficiencies. I was just wondering if you could share that story and how that came about.
Yes, it's actually not bananas, it's a coconut. Coconuts. The Philippines is one of the top producers of coconut in the world. And a lot of our coconut farmers just rely on the produce. So after 2 months, 3 months, to harvest it and just sell it to traders. It's a very passive, and it's just like waiting for your rent every few months. What I'm proposing to coconut farmers is to plant underneath the coconut trees. There's usually a big space and land that's usually just growing weeds and grasses for carabaos to graze on. I was just wondering, what if they were to plant herbs that can be higher value but with very little maintenance. And most of these coconut farms have organic certification. So by being planted in that same piece of land, I can also get organic certification. So that kind of win-win idea and collaboration is what we're working on.
Now, one of the things I love about your products is they're so natural, and there's a lot of emphasis as well on using superfoods and the latest kind of plants and technology to be able to get the maximum benefit out of your supplements and teas. When it comes to identifying opportunities and new trends, how do you go about doing that?
I have some things that are non-negotiables. So we won't run after trends for the sake of trends if there is any doubt about safety and sustainability. So if you see, most of the plants that we use are actually food. That's why you call them superfood. They're actually food. But even if they're food, it's difficult to take them on a daily basis. Who would want to eat bitter melon every day, 3 meals a day? I don't know anyone. I don't have time to do it, right? So we make it easier for everyone to just take a capsule and drink it and protect themselves against increase in blood sugar levels. So these are the types of innovation and opportunities that we always have our eye out for. We will never just ride on the next train of any gimmick or any trend. When there's a question of safety, long-term, short-term safety, we always want to look for things that have a proven track record of safety. We also prefer to use plants that are found in the Philippines. We're serious about giving trickle down to our farmer partners. So that's another consideration I look at. So most of my plants uses banaba. Banaba is a plant that's found in the Philippines, and it's known for weight loss and helps people with diabetes condition. So things like that. Calamansi, which is not found anywhere else. Loved in Singapore.
In Singapore.
They have calamansi cocktails.
Yeah. So you talked about sustainability before, and I would love to end this interview really to get your thoughts on what ingredients for you it takes to create a sustainable and successful collaboration.
Sense of community, having the sense of openness, truth, transparency, no big secrets, things out on the table that everyone knows, but sometimes do not employ. Okay, the same things and tools that you use to embark on friendships are the same things you need for a strong long-term collaboration. You have to have each other's back.
What a wonderful way to end this interview. Benson Sian, I am super grateful that you took the time to speak to the Small Business Collaboration Summit. Thank you very much for being online today.
Thank you very much.